Hi, I'm Kalil Merhib, EVP of Growth and Professional Services at CPA.com, and I'm here today with Martin Zych, founder and CEO of Jirav, a cloud-based FP&A solution. And we're talking about the transformation happening in client advisory services and financial planning and analysis, and what Jirav's doing to help finance professionals do better business planning, better analysis, and budgeting. So, Martin, welcome. Looking forward to this discussion with you today.
Absolutely.
So, Martin, please introduce yourself for the audience here. Tell us a little bit about your background, why you founded Jirav, and what the inspiration and problem you were looking to solve was.
Yep. So I'm Martin Zych, CEO, co-founder of Jirav. We're an all-in-one cloud FP&A platform, and we specifically help accounting firms automate the FP&A process for all their clients. And a little bit about my background. So I used to be a fractional controller and CFO. So I would help companies run their books, prop up, their financial models, and so I did that process for many years, and I saw this huge need for the market to be able to kind of automate this using a cloud-based tool, and we set up Giraffe from that.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Excellent. And so the next question, let's just get this one out of the way. What's the inspiration behind the name Jirav and the unique branding of the company?
Yeah, so I really love the concept of spirit animals. And when I was thinking about the symbolism of what we do as an FP&A platform, I love how the giraffe is the tallest animal in the world, and it sees above all the trees and above all the bushes. So that's what we're trying to do for all of our clients, is be able to get that line of sight into, like, where will you be next quarter, next year, and go from there.
That makes complete sense. And I think finance professionals are always thinking about the insights around the businesses that they serve. And so I know at CPA.com, we're really thinking a lot about the transformation of the client advisory services category, or CAS. And one of those key trends that we are really seeing is the shift in focus from just the financial metrics of the organization to other metrics and information that are non-financial, and how those things come together to tell a better story and allow finance professionals to give better, deeper business insights. So, with that in mind, can you just share a little bit about what are some of the trends that you're seeing in the CAS category, and how do you see FP&A as a category coming into play to help enable those finance professionals?
Yeah, I've seen, one of the big things that we're seeing with firms is, there's been so much focus on getting the inputs automated, doing that whole process, and there's so much technology that has helped empower accountants for that. Now, a lot of folks are trying to figure out, what do I do with those numbers? How do I help my clients that are out there? And especially like with today's economy, things are tough, and people are leaning on their accountants for help. So we're seeing a lot more in this push towards advisory, where they're helping companies kind of navigate the economy, figure out how to grow. And when they're doing that, they're leveraging a lot of technology to be able to do this at scale, because you've got hundreds of clients that you're trying to do this for.
Well, absolutely. Certainly for a CAS practice, they're thinking not just about one organization, but all of the ones that they serve. So, from that perspective, what is Jirav doing to help enable CAS professionals to move further into the category of FP&A and feel supported in understanding how to leverage these capabilities that Jirav offers, but also understanding the value that it helps them deliver to their clients?
Yeah, so what Giraffe is doing is bringing in all of your different cloud accounting data, but also joining it with the other operational data that you have. And when you're a fractional controller or CFO for your different clients, you're managing more than just QuickBooks. You're bringing in data from billing systems or from payroll systems. So Giraffe joins all this data automatically, and then helps start bringing in kind of the insights on there, a level up from just the accounting data, and piecing it all together on that side.
Well, that's excellent. And we know there's a lot of talk around continuous business processes as today's world becomes more agile and data is more readily available. I've heard you talk, and in conversations we've had before, you've talked about this sort of continual planning process. But can you talk a little bit more about that for our audience?
So for continual planning, this is one of the big things. When you close your books, that's just the start of the client, the client value stream. So you close the books, and then what we need to do is talk with our clients about, like, where do you want to be next month, next quarter, next year? When you go through that process, that's where FP&A starts. So you're helping them set up their budget, their forecast, and then ultimately talking about their goals of where they want to be. That's how you engage with the client and really add value together. So we piece that whole process together, help automate this, and then when we're working with different accounting firms, we empower their teams to be able to roll this out at a massive scale. So then they're able to help dozens, hundreds of companies at a time that way.
So we're really talking about fundamentally changing the type of conversation that finance professionals will have with the organizations that they serve and the other stakeholders. So you're talking about decisions that need to be made in the next 90 days or horizon scanning, and then being able to look at the information in real time instead of what's happened in the past to help inform those decisions. What other types of changes and impacts do you see these type of capabilities that Jirav puts in the hands of organizations and finance professionals having on the firms themselves, so CAS practitioners, clients, and then their relationship together?
So the changes that we see for Jirav providing for their accounting firm clients, the key ones are around being able to have that forecast and having that real time, because when you close the books, you're looking at all the retrospective data. It's already happened. It's a month ago. And being able to have that view into what is going to happen next week, next month from that, that's really, really key. Because we're trying to build and drive that forward-looking view for our clients, because we're working in the now. And now is more important than what happened a month ago or a quarter ago. So when you're leveraging technology on that, the faster you can get real-time access to this data, that's the most important thing that we can do there.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And speaking of forward-looking, when we think about some of the trends that are impacting the finance accounting categories, what do you think that CPAs and accounting professionals should be paying attention to right now that's going to have the biggest impact on them in terms of the technology that we're starting to see come into the marketplace?
So CPAs should be looking at, I think the most interesting thing about accountants is we're working with so many different clients. We've looked at hundreds of different clients, and when you're thinking about your client base, you've probably, you've seen hundreds of companies, but your end client, they might have this might be their second company or their third company. And the way you can leverage your knowledge and be able to kind of productize that and now scale yourself in your brain, that's the real key thing. And so many folks are focused on, can I just get the transactional stuff out right now? Can I get the books out for this client right now? But if you start really productizing your knowledge and being able to help drive that advisory conversation about what do the numbers really mean, that's where the focus areas should be, and being able to do that through technology is key.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of talk right now going on about artificial intelligence and what that really means and how it's leveraged. Is Jirav thinking about AI in the FP&A category at all?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge opportunity. Technology is, effectively superpowers for all accounts. And the more that you can do this, it's the more that we can scale each other. So we're leveraging a ton of advanced analytics within our platform. And, AI is a hot, buzzword now, but I'd say, ultimately we've been doing this for a while for thousands of companies. And I think it's going to transform the industry, though, as it keeps on just exponentially growing and getting faster and faster for what we can do for our clients.
That makes a lot of sense, because at the end of the day, it's all about the use cases and the impacts that these technologies have on the way that professionals perform their job in their day-to-day. So it's not all about demystifying, the difference between some of these different things like AI and RPA. So I think, to your point, it is really critical to be thinking about just what does it mean to enabling the finance profession. So, before we wrap here, clearly you're an expert in, the financial planning and understanding the drivers of business and how to look at different insights and metrics around business. And you're doing that with Jirav today in the customers that you serve in those organizations. But what just 3 pieces of advice would you have today for a firm that maybe has a CAS practice that's looking to introduce FP&A advisory as a service, or looking to take a new approach to delivering that service to their clients using the technologies today?
I think in terms of the 3 biggest pieces of advice for folks interested in FP&A is, it can be intimidating to start where you're so used to doing your regular day job right now. And when you're thinking about that forward-looking side, I think taking a look at all the different tools that are out there, but also when you're thinking about your client base and what do they need. A big thing that can happen that we found that's really successful, just ask your client, like, what are your goals? And be quiet for a minute. And then when they start talking about this, they'll say, oh, I want to be profitable, or I want to hit cash flow break even at a certain time. And when you start doing that, it starts teasing out these different questions and what they're trying to accomplish. Then you start laying out that path and go, well, I'm going to help you hit your goals. And if you do this the right way, using technology, you can use normal processes with the tools you have at hand today, or website tech. That's the kind of stuff that then will start teasing out the additional work on building up your whole advisory and FP&A practice there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think, just to distill that down a little bit, it's be intentional about your approach to using these capabilities, and then take pieces at a time. And that makes it more approachable to start thinking about how to become more engaged in FP&A services, and how do you productize that service and bring it to your clients. So I think that's really good advice. Well, Martin, this has been an outstanding conversation. Certainly have appreciated the relationship and partnership CPA.com and Jirav have had, in the conversations we've had. And Jirav is certainly leading the way in terms of the FP&A category, and having some fun while you're doing it as well. So I think I saw Giraffe floating around the conference here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the time, and thank you all for listening.